part of the country, you know, going way back. I've seen a lot of good defensive linemen coming out of Tuscaloosa. They're pretty good at every position up there. But on the defensive line, going back to when I was in Seattle, we drafted Jaron Reed. Ashawn Robinson was in that crew. And then you got the Deron Paynes and Hands. And even last year with Barmore and Bugs. I mean, just every year there's like a new guy. So Phil's the next one. Phil's the next generation. But you know, in terms of the evaluation, watching him over the summertime, kind of like Kenny, we had an early day 3 grade on Phil. We had him in the 4th round. Good player, but man, he took a really nice jump this year. He really did. Guy, in terms of the interior D line, moved up about as much as anyone for us in that group. He's not just a 2-down player, in our opinion. Every team's looking for guys who can get upfield and rush the passer and affect the quarterback from the inside. I think we saw that in the NFL playoffs this year, how important that is. And Phil can do that. He showed it all year this year pretty consistently. So, you know, one-on-ones this week will be fun. I'm sure he's licking his chops to get in there in one-on-one pass rush drills. But really the thing that sticks out with a lot of these Alabama defensive linemen is just the leadership and the juice they play with. And I've posted some stuff on Twitter about Phil and saw him play twice this year, and to see what this guy's mind is like during pregame and how he's bouncing around and getting his teammates feeding off him. He will move up in the draft. Like that will mean something on draft day aside from his talent. If he can affect other people on that D line, you know, that's a certain position group that if you can get a guy that other people feed off, there's value in that. So that's going to help Phil come April, there's no doubt. So it was fun in those 2 exposures against Miami and Tennessee to be down on the field. That's a great takeaway for any scout, is to see how these guys approach it pregame. And I don't know what Phil does in the locker room before he comes out, but he gets himself ready to play. You know, so great technician like all those Bama guys are, kind of falls in line with that group. He's big, he's long, he's got prototype size. And like I said, he's got upfield explosion. He can really collapse the pocket, and when he gets around the quarterback, he can finish. So player we really like. Another guy that got a lot better this year. We're happy to have him here in Mobile, Alabama defensive tackle Phil Mathis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good. Wake up now. Wake up.
Just raise your hand, we'll call him right up here.
First question for you. When you look at getting yourself ready to play, like we just talked about, what are things that you do? What's your routine? How do you get hyped up and bring that energy?
Oh man, it's just my passion for the game. I love the game a lot, and it just brings me so much joy. And I feel like, you know, why play the game if you're not gonna have fun with it? So that's something that I take away from the game. I try to bring it to the game every week.
Hey Phil, a lot is made at Tuscaloosa about getting better just in practice because of who you're going up against in the trenches. Now you're down here in Mobile with guys that are ready to go to the NFL alongside. What do you anticipate the similarities in that between Alabama practices and Senior Bowl practices?
Most definitely. I think, you know, playing at Alabama, it has got me ready to and prepared me for this opportunity coming up all week long. So, you know, I just got to go out there and just be myself and just do what I do. Don't stress about nothing, and just take one day at a time.
Phil, your work off the field in terms of service work has been well documented over the last couple of years. Could you kind of delve into like specific projects that you have done in terms of service work and how that's benefited your leadership off the field, as well as how that plays together on the field with the leadership that we see with you as a player?
Most definitely, you know, that all comes about, you know, growing up, you know, not having too many guys to look up to. So, you know, just going back home and doing those little things for the guys, well, for the younger guys in my community and also around Tuscaloosa, it means a lot to me because I know what it means, and to not have nobody to look up to, nobody to come back, you know, go back home and see big time players like myself come back and do a lot of things for everybody.
Hey Phil, what are some difficult moments in your collegiate playing career that you've been able to overcome that can help you at the NFL level?
Being patient, you know, I speak that a lot. I had to learn how to be patient and trust the process at Alabama. You know, as a young guy, I didn't understand, you know, getting playing time, I had to be patient. So waiting on my time to come was a big part of what I had to overcome, and I learned it a lot, and it has served me well. So being patient is something that I know I can take to the next level.
How are you, Phil? One of the biggest challenges for the players in your position is that you're going up against the, as we say, bigger, faster, stronger athlete at the NFL level. What are you doing mentally to prepare you for that? Because I know we can talk about technique, but mentally having that person across from you that's just as good an athlete, that's bigger, that's faster, what are you doing mentally to prepare yourself for that?
Just working hard in the off season, getting in the weight room, watching film. It's just the little things that you gotta stay on, and just take what everybody give you and add it to my system. And it all gonna comes along when I get there. But right now, my focus is just going out here competing.
Morning, Phil. There's so many Georgia players here. Does it almost feel like round three? And how much mutual respect did you guys develop?
I got a lot of respect for those guys. We came up short, but let me remind y'all, we still run the SEC now. Let that be known. So I got a lot of respect for those guys, and we've been around each other, been actually getting to know those guys more, since we've been around each other. So also ready to learn from someone, like Wyatt, learn from him, see what his game like, and also just go to compete.
How much did you play one technique versus three technique, and just what do you think your versatility to play wherever?
Yes, at Alabama we learned to play all, so I've been very versatile to play a lot of end, also three technique and those. So that's something that I think that helped me also, that I can play all and I can showcase that on this big stage this week.
All right, last couple questions.
Phil, you kind of talked about being patient, staying in Alabama. Overall, what's your thoughts on the transfer portal and players who elect to leave early instead of following that path of your similar resistance like you?
Transporter, I don't know what's going on, but I was always taught, you got. I don't know. I can't answer that question. It's hard about the transporter. It's crazy right now.
Hey Phil, you were here with your teammate B-Rob. If you were scouting B-Rob, obviously going against him in practice, what would your scouting report be on B-Rob?
Grade A. B-Rob, he runs pretty hard. He's a hard runner. Going up with him every day, he get me prepared for game week, and team run. You thudding B-Rob up is like it hitting an old school Cadillac, hard body. So yeah, B-Rob, he's a hard runner. I love him to death. Can't wait to see what he does this week also.
Last question.
Phil, you mentioned early in the season about coming back that final year, you wanted to make some memories. We did just touch on the fact that it didn't turn out the way those of us in Tuscaloosa wanted it to, but did you succeed in that effort to make some more memories at Alabama?
Most definitely. The memories gonna be stuck in my head for a lifetime. So, just to say I accomplished so much at Alabama, it's that's just a pat on the back. But the memories that I made, nobody can top that. Coming out of Alabama, so that's always gonna be with me. And those guys know that we always forever gonna be brothers, so they know that it's just stuck. We B-side 5 for life.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil.